Good day everyone, I am Nicole and I am here to talk about constructors. In this video, we are going to define what is constructors, how to create constructors, and show an example of code using it. So what is constructor? A constructor in Java is a special method that is used to initialize objects. It is also called when an object of a class is created and is used to set initial value for object attributes. Or in simple terms, it adds value to the object that is instantiated. Note that the name of the constructor must be the same as the name of the class. So example, if you have cars as class name, cars is also the name of constructors. And a constructor also does not have a return type, while methods have the return type or void if it does not return any value. Constructors are also called only once at the time of object creation, while methods can be called any number of times. Now, here's a snippet for the constructor. First line, we have our class named book. Second line contains the class attribute. Third line is our constructor. And fourth line shows the value of our class attribute, which is Harry Potter. Lastly, fifth line, we'll call the constructor. Now, there are two types of constructors: default or no argument and parameterized. So first, we have our default or no argument. It is a constructor called when it doesn't have any parameter. So its purpose. A default constructor is a zero argument constructor which contains a no argument call to the superclass constructor. Second, to assign default values to the newly created objects is the main responsibility of the default constructor. Third, compiler writes a default constructor in the code only if the program does not write any constructor in the class. And last, the access modifier of default constructor is always the same as class modifier, but this rule is applicable only for public and default modifiers. And another rule, if there is no constructor in a class, compiler automatically creates a default constructor. And now we have our parameterized. It is a constructor which has a specific number of parameters. So its purpose. The compiler adds a default constructor to the code only when the programmer writes no constructor in the code. Second, if the programmer writes any constructor in the code, then the compiler doesn't add any constructor. And lastly, every default constructor is a zero-argument constructor, but every zero-argument constructor is not a default constructor. And now, we'll have an example of code shown and discussed by Mr. AJ.
Good day everyone, my name is AJ and I will be discussing the concept of constructors. For our demonstration on constructors, let us have an example. Abstract data type, bank account. Our bank account has three attributes composed of string name, balance, which is an integer, and lastly, count number, which is also an integer. Our bank account also has three methods, namely deposit, withdraw, and inquire balance. They work as they are called. Lastly, we will create our constructor for bank account. Okay, so let us try to program this now. So first, let us declare our class bank account. Then we will add our attributes. And then let us now implement the methods. First is the deposit method. So let us organize this. This method adds value to the balance of the bank account. Since the deposit does not return any value, we declare it as void. Then, since it takes in an integer value, which is the amount to be deposited to the balance, we have one integer argument called amount. Basically, deposit just adds the amount to the balance, so we have balance gets the value of balance plus amount. Then we just output something to show that the deposit was successful. So that was our first method. Then let's have withdraw method. This method does not return anything, so we declare it as void. It also has one argument, an integer, which is the amount to be deducted from the balance. However, we make sure that the amount to be withdrawn is not greater than the balance. So, let's try to capture that with a condition. Last method is inquire balance. This will simply output the details of the account. So we just print out. Now, we already have the abstract data type bank account. And we will now create the constructor that will initialize the values of the attributes. So here, we're going to add the constructor. So we're going to label it constructor. There. So we're going to put integer B, integer C. You must take note that the name of the constructor should be the same as your main class. So that will be bank account. We have 3 arguments for this. One for each of the attributes name, balance, and account number. We store them to, let's say, string A, integer B, and integer C. So let us put that here. Name gets the value of A, then balance gets the value of B, then account number gets the value of C. There. So we will save it. So now we have the abstract data type bank account. Now let us create a client class that we use bank account to create objects. So open a new file. For our client class, let's call it bank client. We then declare the main method. Suppose we have a client named AJ. Let's create a bank account for AJ. So bank account AJ gets the value of new bank account. Then inside its parameters are name. So let's put an example of the balance. So let's say 158,000. And an account number. So let's say 12345. So here our object name is AJ. When we instantiate this, we automatically assign the values of its attributes through the constructor bank account. The AJ, 150K, and 12345. The parameters correspond to the arguments of the constructor we declared in the other file. So that means we go back to bank account.java. So here, AJ is stored to A, um, 150,000 is stored to B, and the account number 12345 is stored into C. Then they are assigned to name, balance, and account number respectively. Going back to the bank client.java. So now, let's see if the values were really set upon instantiation. For example, let's inquire about the balance of the account of AJ. So we will put AJ inquire balance there. So we're going to save this. Then we're going to run this. Bank client.java java bank client. So now we can see that the balance of AJ is 150,000. So here you see that when we inquire the balance of the account of AJ, the values we sent through the constructor were assigned to the attributes. This is the main purpose of constructors. Let's add a few more transactions on the object AJ. So let us put AJ withdraw, let's say 2,000. Then AJ, let's say, deposits 5,000. Then AJ inquires his balance again. Then let's run it in command again. So again, Java bank client.java Java bank client. As you can see, the balance of AJ is 150,000. AJ withdrew 2,000. Then his balance turned into 148,000. Then he deposited 5,000 and turned his balance into 153,000. By the way, I added a broken line on the first line and on the last line to set a division. Now, let us have another object. Suppose we want to create a bank account for Nicole. So let us just copy this and paste it somewhere. Let's just add 2 lines and here. So we are going to set this to Nicole, and let's adjust the balance to, let's say, 100k, and just add a digit here on the account number, and then replace this with Nicole. And let us adjust the values, let's say 20k and 50,000. So let us save this and let's run it again. Java. So as you can see, the balance of Nicole is 100,000. She got 20,000 and her balance is now 80,000. And she deposited 50,000, which then turned her balance into 130,000. So that ends our demonstration on the use of constructors. Again, constructors are technically methods with the same name as the class, and these are used to initialize the values of the attributes of the class upon instantiation. Thank you for listening, and we hope that you understood the concept of constructors. Stay safe!